tell us a little bit about the book that you've got out in May?
It's called Dreaming the Future. It's dreams like déjà vu, where you have a dream and then usually it's a day or so after, some element plays out and you're thinking, I've been here before. 7 years ago, I co-authored a book with a neuroscientist who studies precognition, presentiment, Dr. Julian Mossbridge, called The Premonition Code. So it was not new territory for me. I do have a British book actually coming out in June about the Akashic Records, which is a whole other topic.
This
but
is fascinating.
One way to access the Akashic Records is through dreams. A more practical book coming out about, it's okay, all this dreaming, but what about doing? So I've got a book called Walk Your Talk, which is about how can you get all this mystical mumbo jumbo out into reality. I feel I'm covering the whole spectrum. I'm going up to space with Akashic Records, into the future, and then firmly in the present.
So we've had a question in from Zoe, and she's asked what I think is a great question. Is it true that some people dream in black and white instead of colour?
Yes, some people do dream in black and white. And I think that's a symbolic message in itself. It's like the dreaming mind saying, look, life is very simple. There are clear choices here. When you wake up, how many people remember the colours of their dreams? I'm not one of those people. Yeah. For me, I actually, colour isn't the first thing that jumps out into my mind. I think I dream in colour.
But you're so right, because I had a dream last night and I do remember that it was in colour because the colours were so vivid.
What was the most standout colour?
Green, because it was a stage and I was watching a play that some friends were in, and the front of the stage was all green foliage.
I mean, green is about new beginnings. It's about fertility. It's about nature. It's about balance. It's about harmony. Green is a very, very healing colour.
So Claire's messaged in and she said, can dreams predict the future? I feel like I have a lot of déjà vu, and usually the first time I see something is in a dream. So it's a bit what we were talking about before, isn't it?
Yes, there is a growing body of research to suggest that we have the ability to sense futures, but the caveat is potential futures. So if you wake up and you don't get the message of the dream and you don't shift that mindset, it's possible that future may play out. But you have within yourself the power, if you don't like what future is being showcased in the dream, you have the power to change it in a second by changing your perspective. If you're thinking a certain way and your dreams are showing you how you're thinking and how you're really feeling from the inside out, that is the future you are unconsciously predicting. A lot of people don't know that. And when they do know that, they suddenly wake up to their own power. Yeah. They realise that it's within their control.
Lily says, I'd love to find out what an old dream I had when I was a kid means. Every night, I used to have this reoccurring dream and I would be taken unwillingly. She said they'd take me into a room that was white, super bright and spotless. And inside there were hospital beds in a circle. They would put my legs in stirrups and tie my hands down and examine me. And she says, I remember feeling petrified, but no matter what I did, nothing would help. I would just have to wait until the dream had finished. And sometimes there were other kids there, but mostly she was alone. And then she said, I always wondered if this was actually aliens. Can you shed any light on that? That is so heavy.
Wow.
I know.
Wow. There are two ways to interpret this. I'm going to look first of all at the self-help psychological way, and then we will talk about the potential alien theme running through this. The dream is about aliens. What's happening is kind of symbolically suggesting the need to explore aspects of herself which she finds difficult to identify with. It's also her feeling of being different, of not fitting in, of being a square peg in a round hole. So if you're being abducted as she is in the dream, it suggests that she's being kidnapped by her own fear of not conforming or being part of the group. So it's very, very deep. And as it happened in her childhood, it would suggest that during her childhood, that there was a part of her longing to fit in, but another part of her who couldn't, because it would mean compromising too much of her own authenticity. And the fact that this was recurring suggested that throughout her childhood, this was a running theme of, I don't fit in, I don't belong, I don't think the way they do. And what the dream wants her to do is actually to rescue that part of herself that's being kidnapped. Rescue it, please, wow. Lily. It's better to be alone than to be with a group of people who it doesn't feel right. So it's a very, very powerful dream. that she's
Wow.
got. She should treasure it. Then we can go to like, is this an actual alien
Oh,
abduction? And I've
don't.
actually interviewed quite
Terrified.
a lot of people. I spend a lot of time in the States. Aliens, there's a strong belief in that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm open-minded.
Mm-hmm.
I do go heavily on the psychological self-help
Yeah.
perspective, and for
Yeah.
me, this is a wake-up call dream.
For a
Yeah.
child to dream that's you've got to be
Yeah.
quite an intellectual child to be having those dreams. But then to
Yeah,
decipher it, I guess,
absolutely.
is another
But
thing, isn't
children,
it?
they have this ability to suspend disbelief. I mean,
Yeah.
children have a wonderful brain where anything's possible. Because as we get
Yeah.
older, fear and doubt come in. People tell us that's imagination, that's not real, that's not
Yeah.
possible. You are this, you are that, you can do this, you can't do that. And although this is done often with good intention to protect us, in a way also it clips our wings. Why did I send myself this message? I sent that message. I created it. I dreamt it up. If I
Yeah.
dreamt it
It's
up, I can change
fascinating.
it. Please, Lily, don't stay trapped on that table, strapped down.
Yeah.
Dream a different ending. I'm very, very blessed to have the opportunity to write about subjects I'm passionate about.
Yeah.
Because that's my life, really, dream decoding.